Hi, everybody. This is Zen Honeycutt from Moms Across America, and I'm here with Lori Olson from Washington, Lori, and Ann Temple from Wisconsin. Hi, and we're here today to talk about our new national toxin-free town campaign. We've had requests from all across the country of people that want to know, how do we get our schools, our homeowners associations, our city councils, our universities, and our churches to stop spraying Roundup. And it's not just Roundup, there's all kinds of toxic chemicals that are being used in our environment, and we want them to stop. And they don't need to use them, right? We have lots of towns that don't use these toxic chemicals. There's a town in Connecticut that passed a policy to not use toxic chemicals. I believe it's called Chatham. There's one in Oregon, and most recently in Irvine, non-toxic Irvine went I believe toxin-free. So they are only using organic alternatives. They're not using toxic chemicals. We're very excited that all of these towns are doing this. Maryland is now the most bee-friendly state in the country, right? They're no longer using neonicotinoids. And we're really excited about this. So we think that thousands of towns all across the country could do this. And one of the best ways to do that is to reach a lot of people at once and to have a team which will go to your city councils together, which will go to your homeowners associations together. And a really great way to build a team is to reach a lot of people at once, right? We all know that Lori and Ann have worked with many people on having festivals and fairs and all that, and it takes a crew, doesn't it? It takes a lot of support and a lot of volunteers. So we want to reach a lot of people at once, and one of the best ways to do that is the 4th of July parades, because one parade, 3 people deep, 3 spectators deep for 3 miles equals reaching 49,000 people. Holy mackerel, if your parade is only 1 mile long, you're gonna reach 5 or 10,000 people at least. And if only 1% of those see your banner that says, you know, we want a toxin-free town, and they think, well, I want that too, and they get in touch with you, right, through Moms Across America, then you are forming teams in your town. And if you're passing out flyers and connecting with them, then you're going to be able to reach a lot of people all at once and gather support for any petitions that you might have done or any events that you're going to have coming up to coordinate volunteers. So Lori is our West Coast leader and one of the leaders that supported over 10 parades in Washington State the first year that we did parades, and has been marching every year, has been one of the biggest supporters of all our other leaders, and we've now have had 700 leaders that have caused events in all 50 states. So a large part of this is due to Lori communicating with all of these leaders, and we're so excited about that. Lori, can you tell us why is marching in parades so important to you?
Thanks, and it's just an amazing experience to be out there in your community and to talk to people. And we've had our first year, we had moms with their babies in their stroller hunting us down. You know, it's like we went by so fast and they came after us to get the information. And after the parade, I walked the parade route because I just live in a small town. I walked the parade route and there wasn't a single one of our flyers on the ground, which was quite something.
Yeah,
and in my
throw them away, right? Usually they get rid of them.
A lot of people, they just toss things. I mean, I saw things for all sorts of politicians, but I didn't see one of our flyers on the ground, and they're pretty noticeable. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite something. And in my area, when I first found out about this 6 years ago, you know, 1 in 50 people knew something about it. But now when I talk to people, everybody knows something about it. In my small town, everybody knows something. So it
shows that we marched for GMO labeling the first year, as most people know. And now we've got major food companies that are doing GMO labeling because thanks to Vermont that passed GMO labeling. That is happening. It's in progress. It's not done yet. We still need to raise awareness about that. And on our banners, which you'll see in a minute, we still do mention GMOs, of course. And but what's important to know is that the conventional food has lost $4 billion in sales, and organic food has increased 30% in 1 year, and it's going to continue to increase. We can see in that amount, and we believe that's largely due to our moms who buy 85% of the food, right, that are going out, that are learning, that are educating each other, that are learning about the effects of GMOs and toxic chemicals, and are choosing to buy organic as much as possible. And it's largely due to the efforts of people like you, Lori and Ann, that go out into your towns and pass out flyers. It's not hard, is it? Isn't it fun?
No. Yeah, it is fun.
And what did you notice? What was one of the surprises that you noticed about marching in a parade?
In my town, people were pretty receptive, and even if they had a blank stare at first, they'd grab. I mean, they put their hands up for the information, and they were ready for it, and it was quite something. There were very few people who didn't want it, so it was really wonderful.
That's a great surprise. For me, it was that people were cheering and clapping. Usually people looked at me like I, was an ogre because I was talking about GMOs or something, but in the parades, people are cheering, they're clapping, they're happy that moms are there talking about something that's important to everyone, which is health. And because on our banner, we have Empowered Moms, Healthy Kids. So that's so exciting. Now, Ann had a different situation. Ann from Wisconsin, you didn't know about the parade in advance. Some of us wait to the last minute. That's okay. But you took it upon yourself to go anyway. And what did you do?
I was actually out walking my dog, and I walked down the hill. I live very close to town, and I saw everything, all this commotion going on. So I walked up to somebody and I said, "What's going on?" And they said, it's our 4th of July parade. So I raced home, grabbed about 250 brochures, came back down with my dog, and started walking the parade by myself. And people were very, very receptive to me. A lot of people were thanking me for what I was doing. I had a lot of people say, I know about GMOs, but I would like to get some more information. I had a lot of people say, I don't know what a GMO is. So I handed them the brochure. I said, read up on this, and, contact Moms Across America if you have any other questions. And it was a lot of fun. And our town is a very small town, but this parade was several miles long, and it was very well received. So I have signed up for this year. I will be marching in the parade, and I have people already signed up to go with me. So, and I want to go back to what you were saying before about, the moms buying the organic food. And I know that reading that article about Costco is now going to be, funding organic farmers, because us moms are causing, they're finding out they can't keep the stocks up of organic food. So it's fantastic. It's just fantastic.
And we can do the same thing with the use of toxic chemicals in our town. If enough of us speak up and go to our city councils, if we go to our public works departments that spray the chemicals, if we go to our churches, our schools, our homeowners associations, all it takes is one person to start. We have a great flyer on our website under materials. And if Ann, you'll show us the banner that we've cooked up for this year to have toxin-free towns, that would be great. There we go. Moms Across America, Empowered Moms, Healthy Kids. March for an organic America, because that's the end goal. We want GMO-free food and pesticide-free neighborhoods. And you can join us at momsacrossamerica.org. And we want to let everybody know that we're a national coalition of unstoppable moms. Thank you, Ann. So we hope that you can get this banner from our website. We'll have the prices up. They're not that expensive, so the prices are up on the website, but we'll re-up the banner very soon. And you can get free flyers when you create an event while supplies last. We will be able to have boxes that you can order. All you have to do is pay for shipping. And the flyers, we'll have at least 1,000 flyers. The large box might have more. And you can pass out flyers about GMOs still, because GMOs are one of the main reasons for the toxic chemicals. And we'll have an additional flyer about alternatives to toxic chemicals, alternatives to Roundup and other chemicals like that. So we'll have flyers for both GMOs, for Roundup. There'll be some more buttons and stickers in there. And we invite you to start this Earth Day, which is going to be in about a week from now, Earth Day, to go there with a sign-up sheet and some flyers, and to start asking people to join you in the parades, because in the middle of June is when we start shipping out all the materials. So by the middle of May, you want to have start forming a team, you want to be registered for your parade, and you want to start start gathering your team and start solidifying your dates. So we ask you on Earth Day to put that in your mind. I'm going to start gathering a team, which is coming up in about a week, and then have a meetup in the beginning of May. We're looking at the first week of May would be a great week. Oh, we've got some noise going on. Sorry.
It's being recorded.
Sorry. So the first week of May would be a great week to, sorry, I had to mute that. First week of May would be a great week to have a meetup that's also 2 weeks before the March Against Monsanto. So if you are having a March Against Monsanto, meeting up in the first week of May is where we're going to be like May Day. We need to meet up and gather up our communities for toxin-free towns, for GMO-free food, to have healthy communities, because now is the time. We're in a health crisis. We've got 1 out of 2 of our children with a chronic illness. We've got 1 out of 2 males and 1 out of 3 females that are expected to get cancer in America today. Everyone is being touched by cancer, and we need to take action and do something about this, because the chemical companies and the pharmaceutical companies and our government are not doing anything about it. The EPA is waiting and waiting. Most likely, they will probably, reapprove glyphosate just like the European Union did yesterday. They didn't reapprove it, but they voted to reapprove it. We don't want to see that happen. We do need to take action, and we can do that in our hometowns right now. We can get glyphosate out of our towns by speaking up. We also want to invite you to please sign the petition on CARE 2, which says EPA don't renew Roundup. Please look for that. We're at about 67,000 signatures right now. We want to get it to 100, and then we would like to personally hand deliver it to the EPA the week before Mother's Day. So let's get 100,000 signatures on there. Let's go out to our Earth Day events, hand out flyers, have a sign-up sheet for more information, gather, 10 or 20 people, more than enough to march in a 4th of July parade. And again, one parade, 3 people deep for 3 miles equals reaching nearly 49,000 people. So you can reach practically your whole town in a single day, and then put your feet up and enjoy your summer, right? So we hope you'll join us. Go to momsacrossamerica.org, click on events, and post your parade, and also post, Earth Day events, get your free box of materials, and start gathering up in your communities, because we can do it. We can take the health back in America, just with people like Ann and Lori and yourself out there, by saying that I would like to make a difference. I'd like to have a safe and healthy future for our children and for our families. Thank you so much, everyone.